XRP Army, pay attention. Before the end of the month, you'll need at least 5,000 XRP. And it doesn't matter if you have 5,000 XRP, 1,000 XRP, or 10,000 XRP right now. What I'm saying is that, in my personal opinion, you should start collecting that bag a lot faster. This is because I think that banks around the world are starting to realize that they need to use XRP for all of their cross-border payments and tokenizing real-world assets, among other things. Investors are also willing to take chances in a way that we have never seen before. Investors are willing to take chances when these two things are taken into account. Banks are becoming more aware of the technologies that will change the world and help them make and save a lot more money. It looks like things will get better soon, and I believe they will get even better by the end of the year. For those of you who have been waiting calmly, things have been pretty good. Right now, XRP is very close to $3, has been going up, and everyone in my trade group, the Levi Crypto Crusaders, knew when to buy and sell. Also, will be cashing out on this deal very soon. It's going to go up about 20%. So if you're not already in the Crypto Crusaders group on Discord, you should join right away. But I'm getting off track. Let's watch the movie. This link will be below. I'll say more about that soon. Let's talk about today's big news. So one thing I think is very important is having a strong willingness to take risks. All leveraged stock ETFs now have more than $1.6 billion in assets under management. This is the most money they've had under management since September 2022. And this is one of the highest numbers in years, just below the all-time high of 1.8 billion that was seen 3 years ago. We're back to the high points of past bull markets, which is a great sign because it means there is a lot more money in the markets right now. Because of this, it makes sense that our willingness to take risks will rise above the previous all-time high. And the risk-taking spirit was at its best when the crypto market was at its highest point. Now, I'd like to show you this picture that shows the speculation in US stocks and how it is linked to XRP and the crypto market. As we can see, people's willingness to take risks really went through the roof near the end of 2022, or should I say early 2021, early 2022. At the same time, the value of cryptocurrencies was also really going through the roof. As we can see, there is a lot more money in the markets right now, so people should be willing to take a little more risk than they were before. However, I do believe this is a pretty good sign of when the market is about to peak, so keep an eye on it. However, the Fed cutting rates and printing money will have an even bigger effect on how high we can go. This could be even more important than risk hunger, because every type of asset will go through the roof if the Fed prints $10 trillion tomorrow. And it doesn't matter what it is, gold, real estate, anything. We also know that they will keep printing money. There's no guarantee that they will print $10 trillion, but the way things are going, they might have to. They're stuck in a huge debt bubble that they can't get out of without printing money. That's what's wrong with the Fed. And this bull market we're in now is like nothing ever seen before. In just the last quarter, the S&P 500 hit 23 all-time highs. This is the longest streak it has had since 1998, also known as the dot bubble. Of course, this also makes me think of 2016 and 2017, but we have finally surpassed those levels in terms of consecutive all-time highs. This shows a huge amount of strength. We've pretty much only seen something like this in 1995. Anyway, as you can see in 98, we're almost at the point where we'll beat even what we have here. Also, after hitting all of these all-time highs in a row in 1998, we hit our peak again very soon after. Since this knowledge is available, a lot of people think that we will reach our all-time highs sometime in the next 12 months. This fits with the market run seen in the fourth quarter of 2017. Because of this, the measure has gone up about 8.4% in the last 3 months. The S&P 500 added 3.5% in September, making it the best September in 15 years. Based on past events, this market run should continue. History, like the map of the day we're showing you right now, points in this direction. We know this because of the Fed's run of quantitative easing, which will continue, and because of how willing individuals and businesses are to take risks. All of these things are very important. Because of this, I don't think it's a big surprise that Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin, and every other cryptocurrency are all going back up to where they were before the market downturn. In fact, Ethereum just went back up to $4,400 a coin. It's no wonder that XRP is getting close to $3 a coin. It will be interesting to see how this changes over the next few hours. But still, guys, this is important information. I will say that there is, once again, pushback at about $3. That's a key price goal that I'm looking at right now. It's possible that we keep going through that. Once more, make sure you're in Crypto Crusaders so you can see all of my deals. It's really simple for you to join in. Now I'll talk about why I think banks will fully adopt XRP and why I don't think anyone should wait for this to happen. It will be too late if you wait until it starts to happen. First, we know that the relationship between securitized BlackRock and Van Eck XRPL is real. I think BlackRock is working on the XRPL through Securitize. That's great. But first, I want to show you the numbers that show why BlackRock is choosing to do this and why this is such an important partnership for them that benefits them a lot. Eventually, all banks will realize this, and I think they'll be integrating XRP more closely into their systems. The overall amount of money that banks around the world will save each year if Ripple fully integrates into SWIFT and the RWA ecosystem, which is something that the company plans to do, is between $636 billion and $740 billion. This is how much they will save if they use XRPPL instead of SWIFT. Their only goal is to save money. This doesn't include the extra money they'll likely make because they'll be able to handle deals much faster than they could now. So all of these banks around the world could make trillions of dollars more at the end of the year. Huge amounts. This is crazy. It's like these numbers are too big for the human mind to understand. That's how big they are. The banks are aware of this because they are running the numbers. Now let's look at tokenization. This is another huge source of income that will be great for banks and hedge funds. And if banks tokenize half of the $16 trillion RWA market, which is where it's going to be by 2030, we'll be looking at about $80 billion to $250 billion a year in income. Plus, new financial products like tokenized bond loans or real estate yield pools could make this number go up even more to over $500 billion a year, as banks use the XRPL's programmability to offer DEFI-like services within the rules set by regulators. RWA could add $500 billion. When the XRPL is used instead of the SWIFT payment system interface, an extra $740 billion could be saved every year. It makes sense when you look at these numbers. If some banks connect these systems and others don't, that bank has one of the biggest benefits in the market. On top of that, these banks will be able to buy huge amounts of treasuries because they will likely be making their own safe coins. We can all hope that this will happen on the XRPL, but we'll see what happens there too. The funds they will now hold could also bring in all of these extra, all of this. It's about 4% more a year. I mean, this makes perfect sense to me, but I'd love to hear what you all think.